Wow, today we just helped watering trees in Lahaina, and there is so much going on down there, and there's so much going on with helping with the trees and watering, that this whole thing deserves its own video. It's way too much to pack this all into the 30-40 seconds, but I have not been to Lahaina this extensively in a while, since the fire right the day after, and it's heavy, guys. It's heavy. I let you see some footage. It is insane. It is long. We're going to be in for a marathon. It is going to be non-stop. Everybody needs to help. We have to take care of this so much. This is far more important than the tourists. We need to get everybody involved and help and clean and do and regrow. And it is just, I mean, like, I could go on and on. But anyways, that was today.
Wow, so here we are after yesterday, and there's quite a bit to unpack actually. I was working 2 days at the timeshare resort with guests, and that was also awkward. And going crisscross Lahaina town watering those trees was sure a mixed bag of emotions. Today itself, I'm so busy catching up with a lot, because after the tree watering, I went straight to the timeshare hotel, so there was no time to work on anything. The last 2 days at the hotel was kind of interesting. Well, first and foremost, I don't think there's that much reason to panic, because there's nobody there. There's very few people. I talked to one lady. She was a guest. She's an insurance adjuster, so she was here on work. And then I checked one person in, and you could tell she kind of didn't want to talk. She was just give me my key and I'm on my way. So that's kind of it. But it definitely feels awkward, because what are you going to tell the people? I had some people that are like, oh, where can we get some food around here? I'm like, well, you know, I'm trying to think, because the restaurants are mostly burnt down, and the people that restaurant has not burned down, they don't have a house. So where are we going to send you? You know, and they were super understanding, and yes, we get it, but it is just, yeah, it is awkward. It is definitely awkward, because at some point you're expecting these people to say something about the fire and kind of like, hey, you know, we're so sorry, or something, and then other people, you know, you can sense they want to say something, but they don't, because they don't want to like impose somehow. So this is going to be very interesting. I personally don't believe that this opening here is going to be opening floodgates. And for those people who come here and are disrespectful, you know, that you're going to walk into a tinderbox here. There is no question. You're the wrong word, the wrong place. You're going to feel it. So that's for sure. So that's just going to be a very thin ice here, and you know, I get it. And like, particularly after crisscrossing the burn zone yesterday, watering those trees, I mean, you're just once again get gruesomely reminded how vast and how huge the devastation of this entire thing is. I went to the harbor. We looked at the banyan tree. We went to the park and by the harbor and watered all those native ulu trees that are in the news so much, and they're such nice trees, and that was the home where all these ulu trees were. So I really hope we're going to see more of those. So that felt good. It felt good, but it was also a cruel reminder that we are very, very, very far from any kind of like normalcy, recovery. This is so young, so imminent, and I'm going to continue to support my friend with his tree watering organization, and I want to be a part of that, because that gives hope. That gives hope, and it's therapy. But people, I hate to tell it to you, we are far, 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 far from any kind of normalcy.
All right, well, still in Honolulu for this commentator job that I really enjoy. This time for the APP tour for the Busan Open. And we're about to start a broadcast for the long distance race. And I'm just checking out the South Shore here. Of course, as a Winger Foiler sub enthusiast, I'm checking out where are the good spots. And here on the South Shore, there's some really cool spots here. Famous Hawaii Chiron right outside here, if you are familiar with that. Of course, we're heading back to Lahaina tonight and start hopefully a nice Sunday, and then see what's going on next week. So just following along here, and as I promised, every day a little video on what's going on in front of the background of our beloved town that is burned. And wherever you go, whatever you do from now on, from this point on forward in our lives, this will always somehow, some way resonate along with that. And I am pretty dedicated to keep that going and make it not forgotten.
2 months, you guys, just like that, man. Just like that, it's been 2 months. And today is also the day that the tourists are supposed to come back and the opening and all of that. But of course, this is all not happening overnight. And of course, we've seen pictures of full flights and everybody's like, oh, full flights. But airlines said it used to have 1 or 2 flights a day, consolidated everything down into 1 flight a day. I was on a flight yesterday from Honolulu, 8 o'clock back to Maui, and that flight was nearly full. But Hawaiian Airlines used to have later flights till 9, 10:30, I think was the last flight. But yesterday, 8 o'clock was the last flight out of Honolulu back to Maui. So therefore, of course, that flight was rather full. So we always have to take things with a grain of salt, and so we have to, same thing with those tourists. Those tourists are just trickling in, if anything. Ka'anapali hotels are not open anyways. And then again, if the tourists come and we see, like misbehavior, disrespect or anything, I mean, they're going to get the talk to anyways. Like they're walking into a tinderbox here. So I think this will all self-regulate, and we will see a very slow, very gradual uptick in tourism here in West Maui, and continue to move on with our lives. And it's just steps by step. And you guys seen it. I mean, I was down there watering the plants with my friend, the trees, and there is still so much to clean up. I mean, like, it's so big and so much. So this is just going to be a very slow process. And the same thing with the tourists. For sure, interesting will be the part when the holidays are coming. Thanksgiving, sad. Christmas, sad for a lot of people. The long-term housing problem, of course, is far from being solved.